But I want to talk to you about something you mentioned earlier, Jody. And you talk about healing as subtraction instead of adding more protocols. And I think this is really interesting because I feel like people get overwhelmed. It's great. Like I love the internet. I mean, here we are now, right, doing this interview, and there are a lot of wonderful people like you, right, putting out great products. But I think a lot of things get lost in the noise, or people might get overwhelmed. So I want to ask you about healing as subtraction instead of constantly asking people to do more and more. Like, what does that really mean? And how can women, especially, begin simplifying their health without feeling like they're doing less?
Thank you. I think that is such a great entry point for a wellness journey, which is you're being inundated with all of these ingredients, all of these things that you should be doing. And oftentimes it's so overwhelming, you can't put a foot forward. You just have paralysis. And what I have found is by avoiding or subtracting certain things, you actually start to feel your body shift. And then all of a sudden, you can start inviting more things. And it's as simple as avoiding the parabens and the petroleum and the phthalates, checking your cookware to make sure that you're not inviting some of the nonstick that may be an issue and just some of those little things that you can start to eliminate. And I also feel like as women, having permission to just avoid is really inviting because we are a part of the culture. We're supposed to wear a lot of hats. We're supposed to do everything. We should say yes to everything. And when you avoid ingredients, avoid situations, avoid if you decide to have that second cocktail, when you start thinking in that mindset of like, I'm just going to avoid, it starts to compound. And then all of a sudden you have preserved more energy. You feel more empowered and your body is not working as hard as it could be. And I often like to share with people, your skin is the largest organ. It is the first line of defense, and it is like it is signaling all day long, like alarm, alarm, alarm. And so when you
Yeah.
just avoid some things, all of a sudden that nervous system starts to calm down because your skin is calming down, your inflammation calms down, and then you're kind of in a more present state and you can start thinking about more ways to invite wellness into your journey.
Yeah, so important. And years ago, I'm not going to say the name of the company, but this was back in 2002. I was with a network marketing company. I hate to even admit that now, but the products were really good as far as I know back then. But they talked about mineral oil, and that was a bad thing. And that was one of the big things to look out for. But you're right. I mean, there are so many fake estrogens in products, these endocrine disruptors that are so bad for us. And I'm glad that at least I got on that track several years ago now, and have always kind of looked out for that. But